what's a British trade union leader doing in Ireland, right? Get the Irish fed. Just give a bit of history about our union. Our union is 126 years old. It's two unions, the National Union of Seamen and the National Union of Railmen, who come together on September 10, 1990 to form the National Union of Rail, Maritime and Transport Workers. In fact, we organised that here at both unions. The National Union of Railmen organised actually in an office in Parnell Square up until 1954. And we decided the union to pull out of the island of Ireland and to hand back the property and a lump sum of £50,000, which is worth over £1 million now in 1954, because we believed in a union from another country should organise the island. Only to find out in 1990 when we merged the seamen that had 3 branches out here, so we come back again. After 50 years, so that's what happened. Get the money back. Yeah, all the buildings. Brothers and sisters, the reason why we're here tonight is obviously our union has 3 branches in Ireland, the island of Ireland, and our policy is no to Lisbon. We stood in the recent European election as a group, an alliance to come together. I was #1 candidate in London, and we stood on the basis that it would be lovely to win, like Joe did, but what we wanted to do was let people know what's taking place regarding the European Union and the Lisbon Treaty. We've got 11 million leaflets and a 7-party political broadcast. And my view is that people know a little bit more about the European Union after we finish than where we started. Can I say, first of all, me and my union are pro-European, we're pro-African, we're pro-Australasian, we're pro-Asian, and we're pro-American. We're anti-European Union establishment. That's what we stand for. And there's a complete contradiction for those people who say that we support Europe and we support the European Union. Our policy, by the way, workers of the world unite, that's their motto. So what we would try and find ourselves is just to the frontiers of Europe. But the reality is that the Lisbon Treaty, however people want to dress it up, enshrines the internal market. You can't have one without the other. And if you accept the Lisbon Treaty, then you accept and you cement the policies of the European Union for pro-privatisation. Under the European Union, you can't have a monopoly. There has to be competition. So anyone that argues that you need one public transport authority, one industry for steel, one industry for building, one industry for whatever you want to argue for, you can't have it under European Union law rules. And what the Lisbon Treaty does, basically, puts the icing on the cake for all those people that want to privatise issues. And the simple fact is this. Down at the docks here, there's a bit of strange one to argue with our great-grandparents and great-grandmothers. You've got English immigrants now coming to scam on Irish workers.
That's true.
Who would have thought that?
True.
Who? Well, I'll come on to that. I mean, I'm not asking to agree with it, just asking to listen to it.
Okay, the worst thing since 1914 that ever happened.
Well, you're not here, mate. Stop speaking. I'll come down. The issue about British immigrants coming over to Ireland is no different whether it be Nigerian immigrants coming over here, or Polish immigrants, or Irish immigrants going to Britain and building the railway network. British railway network was built by my great-great-grandfather and his friends and brothers and sisters. The issue's got to be that the system's wrong, that workers are competing against each other for lower rates of pay and conditions. That's what's at fault. And what we've got to build up is unity amongst not just workers in this country, but workers throughout Europe and workers throughout the world. The only thing coming to this country to work at lower rates of pay, that the employers will get bigger profits as a result of them coming over. And like any economic migrant, that's the sole reason why the employers use it. Now, I want to give you a couple of examples why anyone should be totally unclear, not unclear, about the reasons why they should vote no in this referendum that takes place. The most profitable airline routes in the world go from Europe to North America. Anywhere in the world, that's the most profitable routes. And just imagine your little company you work for, or if you're unemployed, the company that you did work for, or imagine the situation that you'd have been in. Would it be in a shop you're working, a factory or warehouse? British Airways run these flights from Heathrow to North America. They then say they're going to set a subsidiary company up, based in Paris, just like these offshore bankers do by putting up a brass plaque with grand payment on the Isle of Man, and say that we're going to run the same planes to the same airport, but the people that work on them are going to be paid 10% less than their counterparts working for the mother or father company. That's what British Airways done. And what happened was, Balfour, quite rightly, organised the ballot, and that ballot was 91% in favour, with an 87% turnout. And they said, as far as they're concerned, the Balfour Union, that we couldn't care less how many subsidiary companies that you have. If you have two workers doing the same job, going from A to B, or B to C, or C to Z, you're paying the same rate and the same conditions that go with them. Of course, the employers then got nothing to worry about. Use people that remain in your paying conditions will stay on them. What would happen, like any firm you work for? 5% would come in, 10% would come in, 15%. Before you know it, the majority will be on less conditions than the majority of the workforce, and they will either impose worse conditions on the rest of the workforce, or they will apply it to everyone that works in that company. Of course, the Balfour Union put a strike on, of around about 48 to 50 hours of strike, and they went to court. I'll see how British Airways won their court case. Did they put it on the ballot irregularity? No, the ballot was fine. Did they say there was some kind of corruption that went on? No, they didn't win it on that. They went on the basis that if the action took place, it would do two things. Number one, it'd be disproportionate about what they wanted to achieve. So therefore, if you wanted to put a 2-day strike down, they argued with the judge that you can achieve exactly what you wanted to with an overtime ban, or work to rule, or 1-hour strike. And they said it was disproportionate. Never mind about these factories that shut down, or Jimmy Kelly quite rightly said about Thomas Cook. When they shut Thomas Cook down, I must say that's a bit disproportionate. In fact, sending the gala in and smashing up on Bank Holiday Monday, that's disproportionate. Fundamental issue that takes place about it. The ballot was okay, the matrix system was okay, everything was right with the ballot. Not even if they said and they agreed with the judge about disproportionality. They turned around and said that if you take strike action, what it would really mean, it would break the essence of the European Union and the movement of free trade. And that's the reason why, if an employer wants to bring in workers on lower rates of pay, that is exactly what the movement of freedom of trade means within the European Union. And that's what they banned the strike for. But it's only more vindictive than what they've done. They even said to the employer, we want to see every single email and every single piece of paper that every shop steward and every single member of British Airways wrote about their employer from the start of the dispute to the end of it. Now you just imagine you're in your workforce, your governor, what you write about him at some time, in the middle of the dispute you write about him. And they also said we can provide the information. Do you know what he's done, this vindictive firm, this judge? He said, you go to Google in Switzerland in Geneva, and you download from their major server every single email and every single piece of electronic mail that was sent and was handed over to the employers. So that employer's got to do nothing with the information. I'll tell you what, a few people are going to be refused promotion as a result of what was said in some of those emails. That's what it stands for. And people have got to understand that's what the European Union is there for. It's about privatisation. And yes, I would accept those people that argue. What about paternity laws? And what about maternity laws? That we've gained things from Europe. So it's a bit like years ago when you went to bed at night time and your mother was to give you a spoonful of cod liver oil, which tasted horrible, and a sugar nut to go down the back of the throat after. That's what you get with the European Union Lisbon Treaty. On one hand, you get a few crumbs thrown at you, in respect of some maternity laws and paternity laws, but the sugar nut you get for that is a large dose of acid, which says that you're going to have your industries privatised, and that you've got to go for a race to the bottom. The dispute that took place in the Irish Seas a few years ago is no different to what's going to be now our role across the length and breadth of Europe. Because either it's a race to the bottom, or it's a race to the top. But that's why it's so important. In a worldwide global economy we're in, I always thought we wasn't a worldwide global economy anyway. All of a sudden, we're all in this globalised world. When the Irish and British stock market closes down at 5 o'clock at night, the New York stock market's open. When the New York stock market closes down, the Japanese and Far East stock market opens. And when that shuts down, the British British and Irish stock market back open again. Money swishes around the world all the time. But it's about who can control labour more than the others.